Raquel, can you be fucking quiet?
Alright. Alright.
I'm just gonna turn off my mic and turn it back on.
Well, if it isn't the leader of the Wiener Patrol, boning up on his nerd lesson.
They won't let you have any fun.
Here's another thing. The book can also be a hat.
Are we waiting a minute? Like, Jesus Christ, Abraham, let's go.
Well, that seems long enough. Alright. How's everybody doing today? How's work? How's, for those that stay at home, how was that?
It was
What?
fine.
All right,
Who doesn't have a job?
I don't.
What? This whole time?
This whole
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, I don't have a job. I'm
Well.
studying programming, but it's been kind of rough lately, and I've had horrible migraines the past 2 days, if we want to get real.
So you were one of those liberals that got told to learn to code and, you
Ooh.
took it serious. Nice.
Remy told me
Damn.
the codes, I guess. Yeah.
All right, nice. Over Twitter, I assume. All right.
Yep. He doesn't talk to me in person because we're liberal, right?
Oh, you said it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, today we read, No, not today. This month we read A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie. No relations with the other Abercrombie.
Mm-hmm.
But
Did you look that up, or are you just saying that?
You fact
I
check?
assumed. There was a little assuming going on.
Okay,
Hey,
well,
you can't assume in 2020.
I guess you
Jesus.
can't say
No.
that then.
What if we get
Fact
sued?
check me.
What
What
if
if we
they're
just-
cousins? What if
What
they're
if we get
twin
sued
brothers?
for libel? You ever think about that?
Well, it was a, it was a good run, I guess.
Yeah, I can like shirtless men and write books.
Exactly. So I think it's a fair assumption. I don't understand what the problem is.
We can't look. Listen, we don't have money to take on Abercrombie, right?
We don't got that Abercrombie money.
No, nobody does.
Well, someone does. Well, so we read it.
We all read.
Mhm.
I hated it. No, I'm kidding. I actually rather enjoyed it. It was not bad. What'd you guys think?
I have a boner still.
Really? That good,
Yeah.
huh?
Just
Yeah.
Wait.
this might
Like, what kind of boner though?
like right now.
Shut up.
Like right now. Like I've had a constant boner since I finished the book.
Ugh, can you stop saying that word?
I have serious
it-
blue balls.
Is it?
All right, I'll
is it
take
better if she says lady boner?
No, ew, gross.
You gentrified a boner.
Well, it is 2020, Brian. You can't just assume that all boners are male.
Well,
Disgusting.
it's an inside.
No, stop.
Oh my god.
Wow, crisp.
Wow.
Good job.
I
Cut
know,
that off.
right?
Well, that concludes this episode of
Ugh,
Books and Hoes. Thank you for joining us.
I hate it
More
here.
boners out of 10. Let's go.
You're the ones that invited the woman. The woman.
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna say that it was one of us who invited her. I'm not
No,
gonna say
it
who it
was
was.
two.
Let's be
It was
honest.
two.
It was for the
I-
quota. Let's be real.
It was for the quota. Gotcha.
For the diversity quota. Sorry,
Right.
Diversity quota.
sorry, Raquel.
It's okay. I'll
Sorry.
take it. I will take it.
Sorry.
I'll take what I
You
can
could have
get.
said no, Raquel. I gave you an out.
My hands were tied. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm doing fine. You guys are the ones suffering, so
Ugh.
sucks for
All
you.
right, all right. Let's.
Who picked this book? Was it you, Abraham?
I picked this book, hence I introduced it. But
I gotta say, out of books we read, this might be it's contending with number one.
It's
really?
actually definitely number one for me.
Yeah, this book was hot fire from start to finish.
Yes, 100%.
For me, not so much. A good book though. But there are a couple points that kind of hold it back for me.
What
Strong
points?
women.
Yeah, I want to hear that because
Get
it's
to
not
that.
valid. It's
Strong
not valid.
women.
It's not valid. Yeah,
No,
sorry,
no.
you're wrong. Anything you have to
You're wrong.
this book, you're wrong.
There's no point.
You're dumb.
Um,
Read it again.
You've been removed.
Okay, so my issue with this book.
Tell me which woman you hated.
No, I love them all. Honestly.
Oh, okay. But go ahead.
I did have a problem with one of them, but for
Who?
reasons unrelated to anything that you think,
Okay.
me and my
Which-
personality would hate.
Which one?
Alright.
It's
It's
Vic,
redheaded.
and
You didn't like Vic, huh?
I ended up loving her towards the end. or maybe love's a strong word, but I liked her at the end. No, the like what 5 chapters worth of cliffhanging that the book does at the end is what my issue was with this
That's
book.
where my blue
mean,
balls come in.
well,
It's
but
so
it's a
good,
series.
but I'm like,
Well,
yeah,
I get that,
exactly.
but like
It's like
I'm so
chapter
used
one.
to.
It ties up its own little bows, its own little stories, and then lays the groundwork for the next one. But the groundwork doesn't take away from what already happened. That's what
Exactly.
All right, for me that does. All right.
It's a
Like
complete
because like
experience.
no,
No.
like this is the introduction. This is the introduction of the series. Something supposed to like capture you so you can read the rest of the books, right?
Yeah,
So like
and I
you
want
that.
which I want to do.
looked up where the book was, and I was literally crying because it doesn't come out till September.
And that's my problem. Like,
Oh.
right, like it's
I was
like,
gonna buy the book and start reading it without you guys.
oh, wow. Without us.
Yes.
But what if
Fucked
like
up.
2 months down the road we read it?
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
fucking
then
gonna
I
do it
would be
again?
definitely prepared.
And what if that
Just
book sucks
refresh.
Fucked up.
and you're forced to read it
She'll
again?
be like, maybe
There's
we
no
should
way.
pick something else.
The betrayal is real. I
It's
hope
not
you
gonna
can
happen.
smell
There's
the
no
betrayal.
way
it's not
my
gonna be
boy Joe. Exactly. There's no way my boy Joe Abercrombie is gonna knock it out of the park on this one and absolutely shit all
There's
over the second
Yeah,
book.
I don't
Zero
care what
way.
you
No
say about
way.
The Last of Us.
Really?
Yes.
Like,
Impossible.
Impossible. Have
Impossible.
you seen The Last of Us 2?
Oh my god, can you? But
Hey,
like all the
he didn't do that.
foreshadowing, I'm
What?
so
True.
He
excited
didn't do that.
for.
He didn't
That
do
wasn't
that.
that he didn't do that.
Shit's
That
Joe would do it
bomb.
to us.
He didn't
But
do
no,
it. That
I
wasn't him.
like the first chapter to be like one complete package, not like and then if you want to like on the second one like build up that third book because you want it to do well, then
Oh,
perfect.
you want to
but
build up each
Oh man,
book.
dude. This is the
Fair enough,
name of
fair
the
enough,
game.
hey.
He
I'm
had
okay
his
with
story,
being-
and he followed it from start to
Yeah,
finish.
I
From his
did.
first
I'm
story,
okay.
Closed this shit and then
all
opened some
loose
stuff.
ends were tied up from the first one, and then he was like, "Hey, look, here's some breadcrumbs for
That is
for the
true.
second one. Shit's going nuts on the
Exactly.
shit's gonna be popping off."
I will
Exactly.
give him that he tied up everything with a nice little bow, which I do respect. Not a lot of people do that.
You think he added too much at the end? Like he could have
That's
just.
my problem.
No,
Yeah, that's my
no.
problem.
No,
I
It's
do
just
don't think
not
so.
think so.
I don't think
I
so
think
because
he
through the
gave
whole
just the right amount that was like, I'm so ready to jump into the next one.
Yeah, definitely. If that was out of character for him for the whole book, yeah, I would agree with you.
Right.
There's all these things happening at once, but that's literally what's happening through the whole book. So many things are happening at once that are intertwined and connected
Yeah.
that it doesn't feel out of place. It's just that's the world. It's so fast paced. It's so chaotic. So yeah, shit's gonna go crazy in a couple weeks.
And I feel that's where he shines, right? Like my
Yeah.
favorite moments in these books is when he's introducing
Inspection.
other characters to other characters, but
Yeah.
not telling us who it is.
Just
Yeah,
stirring
By
the
so,
pot.
namesake,
like,
just by
later, yeah.
descriptions. Like, oh, I know who that is, and then
Yeah.
even if it's not even like that hard to figure out, I do like that he does that.
When
Isn't that
like, you're,
amazing that you can
you're
like
talking
picture
about
the characters enough to the point where they're like
yeah.
the other characters explaining a couple things here and there. We're like, oh, I know who this bitch is, like
You're
just
Yeah.
Like when
because of that.
when Ricker was talking to Zavine, like
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Perfect.
And
What-
and well, literally any other character meeting any other character. Like
yeah.
every character that he introduces, like I don't know if you noticed, but he doesn't really give a lot of like hard details on them. It's like
Yeah.
it's a lot of it. It's like left up to you to kind of fill in the gaps.
But it's like
But-
enough though that like other characters are explaining here and there that like
Yeah.
it fills in a lot of holes.
yeah, he definitely dives more into their personalities as far not so much into like their personal attributes, so that you can you can do that yourselves.
But he also does at the same time. He like talks about like their looks here and there.
yeah,
that you
he
can
does,
kind of
like,
see
he-
them.
look over. But he does
Like-
keep it broad, like you said.
He does keep it broad. Like for like
Yeah.
Savine, he goes into just like she's gorgeous, and then he
Yeah.
explains like why she's gorgeous. But really, like he doesn't really go much into like her face.
What color's
Right.
hair?
Yeah, 'cause I feel like if
short
we all
crop-
So
did
it's like open ended.
Savine
like,
Savine has short cropped brown hair because she shaves her head because she
Yeah.
wears wigs.
like
Yeah.
if we all drew her, I think we all end up with a different character.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Similar
think we would.
features,
Well, I think it
similar
looks-
features, but like
I think like
in the
based off,
details
like,
is where
movies
we
that
would,
we've seen,
differ from
it
each
might
other.
be. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't maybe like a Cerna fail.
The Cerna fail, yeah.
They
That's, the witch woman, yes.
the witch woman. You know that she carries a spear.
Mhm.
That she has a hole in her tooth.
That's a pair of legs, yeah.
That she's older, but she's only like 44.
Yeah,
But-
she's not
because they
like way
because they kind
older.
of make you think like she's like really old, but she is
Yeah.
like an old hill woman, so she probably is really old.
And yeah, she probably looks older than she really is.
But they don't think they go into like eye color or they go into hair color for her.
No, I don't think so.
We just all
Just
agree that they're
just
all
some of the
white.
characters, yeah, like the redhead and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
But
yeah,
even
yeah.
then, like, is that a wig or is that, because it was like she was saying that it's like almost too red for it to be real,
no,
you
well,
know?
he's
And
like
all those women there like were wearing
Wasn't
wigs.
that
is what
that was Savine? Was that
Savine-
Savine or was that
Savine
was
the?
bought
Savine's-
the helper's hair.
Oh, I was talking about Savine's,
Oh.
the
Yeah,
woman
but
that
she
she's like
bought-
against.
But she bought that red hair from.
It wasn't. It was golden
the
hair. It
servant.
wasn't yellow.
Or
It wasn't
golden,
red
yeah.
hair. And then later she's wearing a wig with that hair, and they
Yeah.
talk about it. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that they did that.
I thought it was blonde hair that they cut off the girl.
They did. It was blonde hair. I think you're
Yeah.
thinking of
That's what I'm talking
There
about.
was
The
that-
other girl, the one that was
Yeah, yeah.
talking
Like
to the
Van-
young lion
Van Gorse.
that
I think
Savine
is her
took away
name.
from. What was it?
Van Gorsh was the redhead. You're right, I'll
Yeah,
Yeah.
Van Gorse.
Yeah,
Because then
that's- that was-
Savine's Van Glock.
But then she the prince notices that she had short hair but paid no mind, didn't really say anything about it. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, she has shorter hair for some reason.
Oh, when she took off her hat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hildy?
yeah.
Hildy. When Hildy took her hat off.
Hildy, that's
Yeah.
who it is.
She's like, oh, make that money. I make that money.
Who's Abraham?
Mm-hmm.
Who's your like favorite character out of everyone?
I gotta go with the bull.
Broad? Oh my
yeah.
God. I would read a
Fucking
whole
Oh,
book.
he's
Monk.
so good.
I like he got so little, but I like where he ended up.
Mhm.
So that part I do look forward for the second book, especially with that last scene where she's trying to regain her strength and like her confidence in the world after what happened to her, right?
Yeah.
And she just walks into that office and like she doesn't even tell him to do anything, but he knows what he's there for.
Yeah.
And he just does it. And as she's talking and like getting more menacing with her tone, Braun's just like walking up, lifting
Just
up the desk,
flexing his neck
I know, I love that. It's so
like
intimidating.
he
I
puts his
love it.
glasses away, and again, without even being told,
Every
they're
time.
Yeah.
Like we all know when he takes his glasses
Like,
shit's
off,
about to go down.
It's gonna happen.
and like, and but
Yeah.
he's such
So good.
like
I he's such an like I like his character so much.
Mhm.
Like everybody, all the
Everyone, yeah.
characters just feel so different from each other.
Right.
They feel like real people.
yeah,
in
I
the
love
they're
few
all
like
fleshed out.
very,
very
because
fleshed.
there's a lot of characters he talks about,
Mhm.
like a lot.
Yeah,
But each character that he throws up or he talks about, I like that first couple sentences. You know exactly what type of character it is,
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
like start to finish. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, let's go around. Who's everybody's favorite characters? Because there's quite a few to choose from. Because
Yeah.
I even have like a runner up. I
Well-
hated the prince at first, but he grew on me towards the
Orso?
end. Yeah.
I really like
like
I really like Ortho.
I started
Yeah.
out like, oh yeah, Rick is probably the one I'm gonna feel like the most connected to or want to feel the most connected to. By the end I was like, Orso. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I connect more to him actually. He's like so real, from the beginning. Like he's just like some spoiled guy that doesn't really know how to deal with anything. But then when he's like given shit, he like actually uses the tools that he was given over life.
He tries.
And like he like he tries to be something good and he's just I
Yeah.
just ended up falling in love with him by the end. I was like, God, I just want to read more about him like so badly and see
Yeah,
yeah,
what
I like
he
Orson.
does later on.
Yeah, I learned to respect him by the end of it. Like his
Yeah.
choices that he made, and like he fucking tried, and he got screwed pretty hard.
Yeah, and he like still respects like the young lion and everything. He like knows his
Yeah.
place and like how the public is gonna feel about him and everything.
Yeah, like he
He's
even
not,
says like
confused.
he it's not like the young lion is doing this in spite of him, like or
Right,
to spite him.
exactly.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't know, like so he doesn't go around blaming him, which I like.
It's very mature.
I
yeah.
love that.
Very
yeah.
mature. Like he definitely grew by the end of it.
Yeah, definitely.
But enough of me and my favorite characters. What do you guys like?
I just said mine, so.
Oh, that's yours, Orso?
Just
Yeah.
Orso.
Well, I love so many of the characters. Savine was like super.
Yes, fuck it.
super
Second
good
runner up. Who's your runner up?
Yeah. Who's number 2?
I know.
Probably Savine.
Ooh, Savine, good.
Savine's
Yeah.
pretty good. I
Because
really like
she's
Sabine.
just so strong, and then she like goes through that trauma, and she literally like is feeling the trauma.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, I went through that, or it's like too much where she's just not doing anything anymore.
Yeah.
Like she's trying to go back to normal. She's trying to like normalize it.
She didn't
So
shut
it's
down.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So like it's just she's such a cool, like such a great character, and I love to see how she's like falling apart but trying to keep herself together right now. I'm just like sad that it turned out like that because I was just like so looking forward to seeing like the power couple. But
Yeah.
okay, sorry, you guys gotta talk about your favorite characters.
Okay, yeah. Then we'll get to that. We'll get to like favorite parts.
It's a very juicy book.
Oh my
so
God.
juicy. I literally
Dripping.
screamed. Go on. Okay.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna pick someone different. I'm gonna pick um
No,
the
don't
young
pick
lion.
someone different.
I was
Well,
waiting
I
for
wanna
you
t-
to say that. I was
Well, I
waiting
mean,
for that.
it's like and then I just
Alright.
regurgitate whatever they just said because
But but if it's true, it's true. But whatever.
it
You want
is.
to pick the
But
young lion?
whatever.
All right.
I mean, he's a mama's boy with the
Mhm.
just goes in the room swinging and then gets sad when his mom's not there. uh,
Mom, I don't need you
I-
anymore. Mommy, why aren't you here? No.
no,
I'm cleaning out my
I hate you.
closet.
Get away from me. Also, where'd you go?
Also, why aren't you here?
She abandoned me in my time of need.
Yeah. I mean, he was cool.
He's so innocent.
Yeah, he's innocent. Just big dude walking around, just sucking up
Gorgeous.
all the ladies like
So, did you
like a Hoover.
did you catch on that not so subtle
Yes.
gay
Yes.
romance that was
Duran.
bubbling?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I was waiting the entire book for it to happen. I'm like, please, please, and it never happened. Oh my
And
god,
then he
that's part of
took
the
off his
blue balls.
armor.
Well, yeah,
I
she was.
need it to happen next book or the book after. It has to.
She was teasing him, but like he's obviously
No,
down for the
Duran.
ladies. Oh,
Well,
the other one.
in the beginning of the book, there's a part where he's just staring at Durand. He's like, "Man,
Yeah.
this dude is cute."
Yeah, and then it happens later on, like throughout the book. Duran's like super like
Yeah.
careful with him, and
Says
there's this another moment like that where he's like looking at him in that way. It's so cute.
Yeah, he's even worried about when he's about to throw down. He's like, I don't know if women get me going like that. And then
Yeah.
he took some cocaine and got over it. But
He was like, guys understand me more. Kind of.
But I think at that part where he's like, "Hey, Duran, show me where this house is." I think Duran's like, "Oh my god, it's finally happening."
I know. I was waiting for. I was like, oh shit, he left Sabine for the man. Oh my god.
And then he's like, "All right, buddy, I don't need you anymore." And he's like,
I
"What?
know. I was
What?
so
But-
sad.
Are you
I was
sure?"
like, Duran, pull him around, kiss him on the. I was like, dude.
I can watch. What?
Superman suit.
Romance
Closet.
aside, obviously, the in a circle was one of the best parts of the book.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
So,
Circle, yeah, the circle is it was a good climax to his
where
side of the story.
boys
Yeah.
became men.
Yeah. Pretty
He
damn
did the
good.
arc too,
Yeah.
where he's like, he went from like just wanted to kill and fight everything to be like, I'm not killing anymore.
I know. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I love that
actually
he
thought
has like
about it.
both of the swords though. Like that that's like power like
But
stance right there.
like there's still hope for you, Raquel. Like Oso's mother definitely likes the taco.
Oh
they're-
yeah,
they-
she
they-
does. I
they
know
def-
that.
Yeah,
What?
like
What do you mean?
Yeah, they talk
like,
about it in the book how she's gay.
yeah, they reference there was a moment in the book where I guess they made a offhanded remark about her, being more interested in women than in men.
Yeah.
And then
She was,
towards
like,
the end of the
so
book,
grossed out.
when she finally meets Ricker, it's like even her son says she's a fine judge of ladies, but like not in like for himself, but in for herself. I took it as that way, anyways.
Oh, I thought he just meant because he sleeps with a lot of women, so she doesn't. So like not getting thrown out is a good sign because that's all she does to all the women that come
Yeah,
through
so-
Orso's apartment.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of took it that way too.
But like in the beginning of the book, they definitely do mention
Yeah, they mentioned
that
it being-
she's batting for the other team.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he's like super like freaked out by it too.
All right,
He was
everyone,
like,
turn off your
no.
gators. Let's wait. Favorite character.
Or was it like Rick talking about it and she was like,
No, it
"I
was-
don't
it
give a
was-
shit
it was-
about it."
Ricker was talking to it to the young lion, to Leo, and she's like, yeah, you hang out with a bunch of dudes and wrestle, that's kind of gay, bro.
Oh yeah, that's it.
and, and he's like, what? No, it's manly. And he's like, I don't know. Pretty gay.
She's like, I mean,
It's
what am
never
I
touched.
watching?
Yeah, she's
Not
like, yeah,
that
you hang out with boys, hard bodies slapping together. Kind of gay, my dude. The kid's always like, no.
he takes
Boy
his half
time.
chub and
But
he
then, you know-
leaves.
But then he laid down the pipe. He made
Yeah, because
made
he
it
also
known.
does say she kind of is one of the guys.
I know.
he didn't have no problem performing with
I mean, it was
Zane,
kind of dark.
Well,
the-
he
that
even
night.
says he was like a little afraid. Like, towards that.
well,
that
yeah,
was some-
because he's
that was
like,
some-
it's like she reminds like he even mentions like she kind of reminds me of my mother.
Uh,
Maybe that's what I'm into is strong females like that.
Well,
So
Yeah.
Savine, I guess.
being
Yeah,
dominated
that's what I'm
by.
saying.
He likes
Yeah, he's
gays. His mom's gay.
Well, he's
I
also
don't
like,
know.
I was a
Like,
little afraid.
I'm not saying it's out of the question, but you're really
Orion's a
batting
bottom,
for it.
We get it.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. I've been waiting. The whole book, they kept hinting like here and there. I'm like, no, just do it.
Take your shirt off.
Take your shirt off.
So
Wow, let's fight.
Sword
Somebody
fight.
talk about it.
Oh, okay, okay. So number one is Broad for
of
sure.
course. Yeah,
Gunner
definitely.
Broad is I would read a whole story based on him
just taking his glasses
Fucking-
off.
over and
1,000
over again.
All
What
1,000
did you say
fingers
it's for dinner?
That part where that first thing where you meet him. 'Cause I remember going to the beginning of this book.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kept thinking about that.
I remember
Mm.
going through this book and being like, chapter 1, you're like, oh, okay, this book is about Ricker. This is gonna be tight. Like, I liked it.
Right.
First sentence, I'm like, oh man, I like this already. I like what's happening. And the next page is like, okay, never mind. I guess we're following this boy now. and
I
that
had to
happens for
go
like
back
5
so many
chapters in a
times.
row.
It was like
And-
chapter 8, and I'm like, okay, who is this person again? God,
And
I feel
I
so bad.
And I remember being like, oh man, this is like 10 people.
Yeah.
But not feeling overwhelmed by it. Like, not
Yeah.
feeling like, damn, I don't know who these people are. Like,
But, like you're playing catch up.
Like
Like,
you
oh, memorize this guy, and then this one,
Right.
and this
Yeah.
one. You're like, I don't know who, what.
Like,
I
will
was
say
like
this.
feeling like I really like every single character. The more
Yeah.
that the book went on, I was like, I felt like I knew all the characters like personally. So
and
Yeah.
it's way different than the last book. Or was it the last book?
I think it was. That
where
were
you're like,
the
I don't know
Quantum
what's
Thief, it was
happening.
just,
or
like,
what's
all
oh,
going
this
over.
on.
Quantum Thief was all over the
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
so
it's
So
all
inconsistent.
over the
This
place.
book is just, oh my god, so tasty compared to
Oh,
it.
it's so
Yeah,
good.
I will say this. Reading this book, I am pleasantly surprised that you're saying the opposite. But I was like, oh damn, Raquel's gonna have trouble with this because I know she said she doesn't like jumping
Yeah.
all over the place. But to be
I
fair, this
had
book
it was a
does
little
do the
hard at
best
the
job.
beginning to like remember all the characters, but then once I got it down, I was like, because he does the description so well, I was
Yeah.
able to like figure out who it was throughout. And it, like,
Every character is so fleshed out immediately. As soon as he
Mhm.
writes about him, you're like, oh, I know exactly what type of person this is. And
exactly.
it's so good.
It's
And
so
going
so-
back to what? Yeah, go ahead.
So Broad's number one, like that first chapter where he's that soldier coming home from war, and day number 1 he just kills those 3 guys. It's absolutely destroys
Right in
them.
his lawn defending his property.
Dude, like when he
that was so badass.
when he was like, I'd be ashamed if something happened to your wife, and he snaps like, yeah, he brutally murdered 3 dudes, but that's a
Mhm.
fucking man. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Mhm,
Fucking,
And
I
I-
think I had more chest hair reading that. That's how fucking like,
mhm.
He picked the one dude up and then slammed them neck first onto a fence post.
I know. Oh my god.
That's how you started the fight, by executing someone.
He
I
picks
like-
him up. He picks him up over his head. I was like, okay, he's just gonna like toss him and scare him away. And like,
Nope.
oh nope, that guy's dead.
He's
he
dead.
killed that guy.
He's definitely dead.
yeah, no.
And every time, like anyone goes up against Broad, like anyone who's smart's just like, oh no, thank you. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that.
So
Put the
good.
glasses back on, sir, please.
Please, for the love of God.
I love that like inner conflict that he has too, where he's just
Yeah.
like, he's like, I feel like what I'm doing is technically good, but it's also technically bad. So like, when is not doing something the right thing, and when is
Oh no
doing
no no.
something the
He
right thing?
understands it's bad. He
He
just
just
likes it.
can't stop it. Yeah, he
No,
can't
Yeah,
for
stop it
he
sure.
from
But
happening.
like when it came to
enjoys it.
like the revolution or whatever, right? So like he was like, this is the right thing to be doing right now, right? We're suffering. But then he's like, oh shit though, like I don't want like killing these people for no reason.
Well, he
You
doesn't
know?
want to be like he went to the war and killed all those people, and he doesn't want to do
Yeah.
that anymore. But that's all he's really good at is war, and he's trying to
Yeah.
move past it. It's such a good like that internal conflict of like I don't want to be that guy anymore, but
Yeah.
the world keeps forcing me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
like
good.
and they do
Yeah.
kind of reference like when Vic and
Mhm.
Broad first meet, like he's chilling outside, like try to get away from, like I took
Right.
it as he's trying to get
Yeah.
away from that and try to process
Definitely.
that.
Right.
He didn't like everything he saw in there. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm just out here taking some fresh air. And
Oh.
so like he like for me at least he did have some conflicts with that whole movement, and I think he did choose the better of the two movements as far as the breakers and the burners.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Which is like
breakers
that sexual tension between him and the judge. Whew,
Oh, oof,
Amazing.
so good.
oof.
I was like, think about your wife, but oh my god.
Oh, okay.
he's
So
just
and
a little,
also,
Just a
a little
hard
excited.
time.
He just
and
got a little excited. Nothing nothing to go to confessional for. Come on.
yeah. Second best character. I might have to put it on Clover. I really liked
Clover's pretty good.
Clover.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
Even that ending with him, just
Ooh.
oh my
I am
god.
brutal.
At the very least, he stayed true to his nature, right?
Exactly. And I like that he points out, he's like, I told them over and over again, this is what I would do if it came to it, and nobody listened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
He mentions it even earlier in the
yeah,
book.
he's like, you have to bend with the breeze. You have to do what you have to do to survive. Stay
I
loyal.
also
I love how like the guys were like, "Oh shit!" Like
Like,
that was
damn.
really fast thinking. It's like you can think about it, sir, but nope.
Yeah, he didn't even give her a chance. Just like end it immediately.
But I do like that. He like at least to me, it seemed like he does carry that. Like he felt lost for
Oh
what
yeah,
he had no qualms in doing it.
yeah, but
But
Yeah, where he's like
definitely
hoping that
wears
she
it
would
on his
get back
shoulders,
up
though.
and laugh it off.
Yeah.
yeah, or he's just gonna everything's gonna be fine, and she's not really dead. And it's like one of the few murders that really like affected him.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we
what
could
about
get
that
one
murder
guy.
on that boy that annoyed him and reminded
Oh
him
my
of
Oh no,
god.
he enjoyed that.
Oh my
he
This whole-
enjoyed that.
god.
I was waiting this whole time for him to unleash that sword and go nuts on somebody.
I
Because like
know.
because that's how they play him, as like a big goofy like dude. But like when he's talking to Shivers, even Shivers, I really like Shivers too. I should throw that out
Right.
there.
Yeah.
The dude with the one metal eye, Cole
Yeah.
Shivers.
Oh, Shivers. Yeah.
Even he's like, yeah, you can change your name, but I still know what you are.
Yeah. Oh, that conversation was nice, and I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for good conversations in a book, and I enjoyed
Yeah.
that little moment.
And they weren't
Very good one.
excessive. It didn't feel like Game of Thrones where you're like falling asleep because the conversations are
You're just
so
getting
long.
drowned and overwhelmed. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
This was like
Yeah.
the perfect like touch of everything. Even like the really intense scenes, he like knows how to jump out of it and like give you a quick breath to like
Yeah.
understand what you just read and like prepare yourself for the next scene. You know?
I don't think there's one time where I was reading the book, especially like going from like them preparing for the Northmen to attack like Leo and everybody.
When the book was
Mhm.
at its slowest, yeah.
Yeah, but even then, it's like there wasn't a point where I was like, my God, just shut up and get on with it. Because
Right.
because they're like when they're when they finally get to it and they do pull back, like you were saying, to like kind of give you some time to breathe. It goes to something else that's going on, but also what's going on is also really interesting.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh,
Everything.
it definitely didn't pull what Children of Time or whatever. Where like, holy shit, I need to get back to the ants. Why
Yeah,
am I
yeah,
here?
yeah.
Get me out of this
Please.
spaceship.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Forgot about
Yeah.
that.
And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I felt like when it did pull you away, it was something. It was just something of of equivalent tension, like
Yeah.
okay, like this, yeah, like or
Yes.
at least interest in like a similar interest, like oh okay,
I
Like
love the
nothing.
parallel things
Oh my
happening
god.
too,
I
like the
want
sword
yeah.
fighting and like the sex scenes. Like, I loved it, and he even named the chapters the same thing too, which is like
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah.
so different. Like they're the same thing going on,
Well,
but something completely different. I love it.
even like all the characters have something that like two things that correlate between two different people that are basically the same things happening to them, but you
Mhm.
just see the different outcomes because of it.
Yeah,
Or the different point of
Like
exactly.
views. Yeah.
like at
Like
the end,
Rod
like
and
with
Savine during the
right,
revolution and sorry,
like
Craig.
Orso and or Stour Nightfall at the end, them both ascending to kinghood
Yeah.
and how they got there. You know what I mean? By
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
by murder. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like Leo and Stour when they're like gearing up to fight each other, that like all that's
Mhm.
going on between those
Yeah.
two, like
It also like humanizes Stour Nightfall. Like at first you're just like he's just this horrible person, but
yeah,
then you kind of like learn a little bit more where you're like, oh shit, now I don't want him to die,
yeah,
and it makes the scene even more intense. It's awesome.
Yeah. Even the villains. I don't hate anybody in this book.
no,
I'm
Like there's
most just
some.
like worried about the magic guy. What's his name?
Well,
Starts
yeah.
with
He
Baez.
is.
Baez.
He is a
Baez,
bit
yeah,
concerning.
Baez first Magi, and then
Yeah. Well,
Sulfur.
Sulfur. Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I'm glad you brought up magic. Was anybody else disappointed by the lack of magic, or
I think it was
Yeah,
a build up for the magic in the next book, and that's why I
because they
was
do
like, oh my
reference it,
god,
they
like,
do
ah,
reference it.
yeah,
and
Yeah, no,
I'm interested in what the eaters are. I have an idea
yeah.
what the eaters are,
Well,
and I
yeah. I
I
like
think
think
that
he's
that
like
idea.
painting
what does they
music.
call? He calls them like cannibal magicians. I think
Yeah,
is what how
cannibal
he
mages.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
cannibal mages.
yeah. So I'm assuming they get their power, which. So I have a theory on the magi,
Okay,
on how they get their powers. I could
okay.
be wrong. I think it's through misery and conflict.
It's how
Um,
they keep like
Maybe
the
that's
through
Which is
suffering
why
is how they get it.
yeah, because they mentioned that a little conflict is good. Too
they
Yeah.
much
also
conflict is
talk about how
too
like
much.
everywhere Baez goes, he's like, oh yeah, no one ever listens to me, so they all end up failing. But then another person was like, anytime anyone listens to him, they end up failing. So it's
Well,
like,
they were like, don't accept anything he ever asks because it's
and
never gonna be
then the
good.
other person, then his Orso's dad is like, do everything he says.
Yeah,
Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, because
So
I'm
it's like
sure
that.
well he ended the that one magi. He ended the conflict with the eaters. And they made it seem like with great power that he ended that conflict.
He did something
Right,
crazy
yeah,
to stop
like
it.
fucking
Yeah,
lightning shit or
like
whatever, fireworks and
like the type of
explosion.
devastation is if you get on the wrong side of the sky, like yeah, you might not want to be where he's aiming, you know.
He
Yeah,
killed the did he kill the king? Baez
I'm
killed the king.
hoping.
I think
Yeah.
I think he's pulling strings. Obviously, he's pulling strings. I don't think the book tries to hide that at all.
Yeah. But you think he had a
Yeah.
direct hand in killing Orso's dad?
Yeah, but I don't
I
know.
honestly don't see why he would gain that much though, because he was so like he listened to everything he did. So like I did suspect that though when he was like heart attack out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But but I also feel like at the same time like why would he do that unless if
I mean
he's trying
that's
to do something with Orso.
yeah, to get
Yeah,
could be. I mean
well,
yeah, definitely.
obviously Orso is a
I
key
think
player
he's
in all
trying to
this.
fuck with Savine more so than
Oh, yeah.
Orso.
Well, they definitely opened our eyes to that at the end. Holy shit.
Oh my god, that was so
Um,
intense. The most intense stare down.
but no, I meant with the revelation of
Oh, Orso
Orso
and
and
Sabine.
Sabine. Question on
Damn,
that: Do you
my
think the
poor
book earned that?
earned what?
The like, oh, and by the way, their brother and sister thing.
Yeah, I think so.
God.
Okay.
You
I
said
think
what
so
about it?
because because they cover it up pretty nicely on
Like,
why.
because like
Yeah.
I did find it odd that the king went and visit her function, right? But like, was that enough to like,
Hint at it.
Hint at
yeah,
it.
like,
Well, I mean,
I
they
wish you would have
do.
dropped a couple more hints. Unless I missed a second part. Well, like he does get angry when he finds out that she is trapped in that city, and I guess
Yeah.
putting those two things
He
together
like really
is
upset
enough of a hint.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then her mother is like, when she's like looking at her ring, it's like marrying your father is the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I'll never look, I'll never look back on it, or when she's looking at that giant diamond on her ring.
Oh
So it kind of
yeah,
makes sense too, because then it's like, because they tell you that like
because
Van
only the king
Glochter,
would probably afford something like that.
no, Van Glochter has a lot of money.
That's
The
true.
Inquisitors are, because he's really
And
like,
Fat
he's
Snake Guy,
actually
yeah.
like the number one
Yeah.
Mhm.
person,
He's like the one
and
that's really doing everything.
he's really running the show. But he's also old as shit, and they keep telling you that, and that he's like.
There's no
So
way
then you
he
think
made
about it,
it.
if Savine's like 27,
Yeah.
and Van Glochter is like damn near 90 is what it sounds like.
No, he
Yeah.
sounds super crippled.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
man.
like,
Oh, dude.
the
Oh, I didn't even,
the numbers don't add up.
I didn't even factor that in. Yeah.
'Cause they don't say how old he is. They say he's old as shit. Though.
Yeah.
And they say
pictured
that
him
the
really
king
big,
is like
though.
rather like normal aged.
Yeah, I'd say the king is probably about to hit 60 or something. Well, maybe 45, 50 or something. Because
I don't know
he's
about
27.
45.
Oster was 27.
Or so it's 27, and I think they say that he had like King had like graying hair, and
Yeah.
like gray body hair. So yeah, so let's say it's like
Probably
60,
50.
Yeah,
50,
late
60.
50s. Yeah.
Late 50s, yeah. See, that's like
Yeah.
normal.
People,
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
gray hair,
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
old.
Like, now seeing all this stuff, I guess, yeah, it was there. It was definitely there.
But like
I
when
mean,
Like,
her mom starts getting so upset in the conversation and when she finds out who it is, I was like, the build up, I
Yeah,
was like, oh
I
my
knew
god,
it.
oh
No,
my god. I had
once
to like skip forward, like my eyes just dragged forward like a whole paragraph and read it, and I was like,
yeah. No, once the mom started getting upset, I was like, oh yeah, they're related. This is gonna be tight.
It's about to get spicy.
It's about to get ooh.
Bro, it was spicy.
Someone
the
turned
whole
the
time.
oven? Woo.
I really do like Orso and Rick together and Young Lion and Sabine together though.
And
No,
I feel
I
like
mean,
just get
even
over it
those
and
aren't
banging the
power
brother.
couples.
no, I mean, because even Sabine's like, Leo is fucking stupid as shit.
Well, that's what her mom said to do. Marry someone pretty and stupid.
Yeah, maybe they'll just marry each other
Gay.
and then secretly,
And
you know,
gay,
go back
which is
to.
another thing that they mentioned. Just like,
Oof.
hopefully he's gay too.
Oh,
He's
she
like,
does
everybody's
say
a gay.
that. She does say that. Wow. Damn. Dude's throwing in foreshadowing everywhere.
Everywhere.
Damn. Favorite parts of the book, maybe?
Well, so I wanted to get to why, in the beginning at least, I could not stand the Vic parts.
Sure. Yeah, good.
Stand what?
It's the Vic parts.
So is this the bad part of the book?
Oh, I
This is
like
the part of the book we didn't like the
No,
the most.
I'm not gonna take a point away for this because this
No,
is
no. I'm saying like this is the part where you're like, okay, the book's great, but this is the,
okay, fine.
this is the
Yeah, we
but.
can do that here. But yeah, Vic, especially early on in the book. Holy shit! If I had to read the word camp,
Oh,
fucking like, dude,
camp. I grew up
like,
in camps. You hear about the camps, right? I was there. I was at them. I was at
dude,
camps.
any situation she was in, it's like no worries. The camp prepared me for this. It's like
Sounds like the
it's
camps
like-
are pretty bad.
yeah, and I get that. It's like
that's all I've
it's-
learned.
and like apparently the camps are accidentally producing fucking super soldiers that fucking out of the hoo-ha. It's like, woo! One super soldier, two super. This book had two super soldiers raised from the fucking camps.
Who was it? It
I
was
did.
Vic
And
I thought it was was it
What's
Corker?
his name?
Pike. It was
No, it
Pike.
was Pike. You're right, Pike.
Commander Pike.
no, it was,
Oh, he was the good bad guy.
Supreme Pike.
Supreme
Pike
Commander
Supreme?
Pike.
That's what it
Yeah.
was. And it's like, don't worry, wink. Gave her the good old camp wink.
Camp
He was
handshake.
like, well, that guy's dead.
But it got better towards the end, and I liked her, especially once she explained her, or once we got an insight on how she functioned mentally.
Yeah.
And I towards the end, I rather enjoyed her as a character. But holy shit, it was kind of, at least for me and how I am, fucking hearing or reading the
Camp.
word fucking camp. It's like, we get it, bitch. Yeah, you had a rough time at the camp. You could have said that in the first paragraph, and I would have understood it in the rest of the book. But no.
Well, I understood it personally because she was meeting all these new people, so I felt like she had
But
to
even
like
in her,
reintroduce
it was like her internal monologue.
Yeah,
We're
You'll
happy.
yeah.
never know about
Yeah.
my camp.
Like, yeah, if some other guy, oh, she was, don't worry about her. She was raised in the camps. I'd get that.
Oh
But it,
man.
like, oh my god. But anyways, other than that, as far as
So that so
the
that
characters go, that was my only grade.
so that's your number one grade for the book, which is fine. I mean, that's a pretty legitimate grade.
The cliffhanger being too long, but other than that, it was good.
The ending, you mean?
Yeah, the whole like after both
multiple chapters of it.
yeah, after the like both sides resolve their
Sure.
crisis, I felt like that whole like it's like all right, end this book already. I was already like I was already satisfied, you know, like it's like you
Yeah.
come off a high and it's you're dragging it out way too long. So I was starting to get
I
a little
felt like-
bit of that by the end of it, but
Yeah.
once the book finished, it kind of like huh.
Yeah,
Especially
went right
with
back down. Yeah.
how they both became kings and
Yeah.
Clover killing Wonderful.
Long
Clovey.
live
Oh
the
yeah,
king.
especially with that. Yeah.
Everyone getting
And,
laid, just oh,
Yeah, it's like fuck it. It's like
Oh.
everybody's getting laid. You're getting laid. You're getting laid. Hey, you want to get laid? Fuck it. You're getting laid.
Cold
The
Shivers
description?
definitely got up on It's
Oh,
Her to
yeah.
Fail, right? Like he
Oh,
got in
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah,
Betwixt.
He tweaks the
It's like-
thighs.
yeah.
What is she saying to
Fine.
him? Like, I have really good legs. And then
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
fine legs. And she's like slapping her thighs. She's like,
Yeah,
in
once-
between.
Yeah. It's like, you know, hey, fuck it. Like, I don't
just
know how
felt
many
like-
ladies are into one-eyed men, but you know,
One-eyed
one said she was
men-
no one said she was
sex
ugly.
scenes
So
were
they just said she was a
so
little
good,
older.
though.
One-eyed men with faces that murderers see in their nightmares. It's how they
I love
described
that.
him.
Yep.
That's definitely her type. You can't deny that.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, she's a kook. She's a kook herself.
Uh-huh.
But even though Shivers, right? Yeah, even though Shivers only got put in the spotlight very few. Like he's also
Yeah.
one of my like just in description alone, I love him.
Yeah.
And especially when he finds him and like she hugs him, it's like oh,
Yeah.
he's like a lovable teddy bear that only has one eye.
I know.
And
It's
will
like-
absolutely destroy you.
Yeah.
And apparently that metal eye can see your soul, or so
Oof.
Clover said.
See right through you.
Yeah. And,
So what's your favorite part?
my favorite part.
Yeah, we did your least favorite part. Now, so what's your favorite part of the book?
Oh, okay, we're gonna do that. All right, that's cool. My favorite part. Holy shit. I gotta say, Orso's development.
Pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Definitely.
like what he managed to accomplish and and how he felt betrayed, with rightfully so.
Yeah.
And finally getting what he wanted and fighting for that and wanting that. Like he set a goal and he got there. He did everything possible to get there.
Yeah.
With a little luck, with a little help, but he got there.
Did you guys get any
And-
feels when they when she was like, he's
Oh,
like, I'm
dude,
here
I
to
was
save
heartbroken
you.
for him.
Well,
When
no.
what?
Oh,
when
yeah,
they get
It's like,
together, and she's like, he wants me even when I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have not for the money, not for the
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
Not when I look good, because
He saw me at my
Really
absolute
fucked
worst, like
up.
literally no
Yeah.
wig, like starved for weeks.
yeah,
yeah,
Or,
and he's like,
bludgeoned.
it's like that's the one.
dude, and he started thinking about others and not just himself. Like
Mhm.
that little gesture of just allowing her to sleep was like leaps and bounds
Oh.
of who he was.
That was so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
And like I think his character growth throughout this whole book is my favorite part.
There's a lot of character growth.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh no, but his
there's a lot of
specifically is
change.
like
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
because
Me
like
too.
Rod didn't really develop all that much, right? Like
He developed in like a short period of time.
yeah, and like
he had to as soon as he came back.
as
Well,
far as this
I
book,
think-
like he's still my favorite character, and like I think who he is in this book like screams to me. Like I love it. But as far as
Yeah.
growing, no one grew more than and
Orso.
yeah,
Yeah.
Orso. Even
Savine?
like even Savine, who got I think
Savine
the
kind
most
of
screen
like
time in this
went
book.
down, technically. Like she
Yeah.
got her character development was like negative technically.
She
Yeah.
got a confidence hit for sure, but I think she's well on her way to.
But what's
becoming who
great,
she is.
she gets a confidence hit at the same time that Leo and Stour both get their confidence hits too.
Yeah.
Is that interlocked like that balance that's throughout the story.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Oh, it's so delicious.
Yeah. Speaking of confidence hits, when fucking young lion walks into the town, it's like, here's our ledgers for how much we spent on this war, and then fucking Van Brockton fucking like drops a like about that.
Good
You
luck.
fucked
Oh
up.
my god, hate him so much.
Why not? He's good. You can't hate him.
Not
yeah, he's a bad guy.
Vodka?
Well, who?
uh
No. Savine's dad or
The
her
arch
dad.
eminent
Yeah.
Isn't his name like
old sticks.
Sticks.
yeah, there you go,
Yeah.
Sticks. Yeah, I don't like him.
He came
Van
in
Gogh.
and then he fucking
He's
knocked
a
him
great
down a couple
character
pegs.
for the book, but I
He's
don't
like,
like him.
Yeah, bro. The tax man, that's not me. And good luck with
No,
that.
but before that, like he fucking like breaks it down to him how he fucked up. It's like, oh, okay, so you let him live, which is great, but you didn't
Yeah.
capture him. Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't bring him to the king
Yeah.
to see what he wanted to do with him.
Yeah.
Right.
And
You didn't
you
even
didn't get
get
anything in writing.
You didn't get anything in writing.
And you were
didn't
like
even get
super stupid to like
So
put the
we just
whole like thing
just have him
on
at his
just
word.
him alone.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
we're the men of the North. This is how we do. It's like, you're not of the North. But yeah, but I lived there for like a year. So, like,
Oof. Fucking got him.
Oh, dude. Like, I enjoyed that little moment.
And he needed it. He needed a
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
damn
confidence
sure.
drop.
He did, yeah.
Like he's right. He gambled everything on himself, and
Exactly.
he barely made it out. Way too
Yeah.
overconfident.
But I do like that he admits that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He grows.
Right. I'm sorry, Brian. You were about to say something?
Yeah, sure.
So what's your best worst?
Yeah, Brian.
I mean, obviously the circle was like
That was good.
intense. I mean, that was definitely one of his, I would say, one of his better character finding moments. And even before that, when they were strategizing, and he was talking to his mom, and he's like, "Mom, I gotta get out there in front," and she's like, "No," and they have like this emotional scene where it's like, "I can't lose you," all that.
Yeah, I was touched.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
and he's
It
like,
was like a new perspective.
he's like, "I get it. I'll be in the reserves, Mom. It's
I'm-
fine."
And then he's like, "Fuck that!
And then
I'm
he's
going
like,
up anyway."
Fuck you. Then he's
Well,
like, oh shit, should have listened to my mom.
But then he finally gets up there and she's like, well, you're fucking here.
Yeah.
Well, because he's not gonna listen. Like if I literally
Yeah.
tell you I'm holding you back because you are going to die because you're stupid, and that doesn't click, then nothing will. Like
Yeah. And no, she can't seem weak in front of her men. Like, she can't start sobbing. It's like, well, you're fucking here. And, but hey, he made it work. He did his part.
barely.
Well, but no, I meant like prior to that, prior to the circle. Well, actually, no, I think they were losing a lot of men trying to get
Yeah,
to
he
that
lost
bridge.
in that part where he
lost his
rushes
friend.
that farm. He lost a lot of people,
Yeah,
and they
lost his
didn't
friend,
gain
too.
anything. And then they ended up giving that land up anyway, didn't they? They end up retreating from that land.
Well, no, they got to the bridge, and that's when he challenged them. Like, I challenge you to the circle.
No, I'm talking about the farm. The very first chapter that you meet Leo in, he's charging a farm, taking it back.
No, he gets it, but then yeah, his mom forces a retreat. But he captured that farmland. But he's like, oh, great, you captured it from fucking like a small force. It was like
Scouts. It was like
probably
6 people.
scouts. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you got the farm back, and you lost the guy.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
it's like he knew the risk.
Do you guys remember Broad being there?
Rod?
Broad?
Yeah.
No.
They
No.
talk. There's like a scene where he's like sitting like Leo's like super pumped about wanting to go to war, and he's like, dude, like you don't want to go, like you don't know what I've seen and like what I've been through, and he was just like so annoyed with like this guy being a Debbie Downer, and they talk about even like him having gone into like that War specifically. I want to look it up in the book because
You
it was
sh-
bothering me the whole time.
Was
Like I
it
swear they brought him up.
was
I
it
think it-
Broad or was it Clover?
No, it was Broad. It was definitely Broad.
Because he also had a friend that was also very
Yeah,
you know,
he had a friend that was like, "Yo, stop!" Like,
yeah, that's the one that
That was
died.
also in that other war.
yeah,
That Broad
because
was in.
that guy made it to like commander or captain or something, but he only fought in one part. But they talk about him like trying to have that battle weary look, like looking off into the distance at any chance he got.
Yeah, who was that?
That was one of his friends,
Yeah, he died.
but he's the
Oh.
one who died. Who caught the arrow? Is that the one who
Is
that
he the
was?
one who like
Yeah, he jumped in
saved
front of
him?
him with the shield, but in doing so, he uncovered himself and got an arrow.
Yeah, he got hit
somewhere.
with an arrow.
being a bro?
Okay. I thought they were talking about. I thought that his name was Gunner.
Broad's name is Gunner, but that wasn't
Yeah.
Gunner. That was like something else.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but that's the guy you're talking about. He was the one
One
that
of his
was like,
homies, one of his
yeah.
crew, his little
Yeah, one of the boys.
like we'll mourn him later.
one of the
Right
battle
now we need to
boys.
fight.
Wow, that's so funny. Yeah, I guess okay. I guess that's why I got confused was because he was also in the war. So I just
'Cause the
figured that
first
that's
time-
what they were talking about.
Best of my knowledge, the first time they mentioned Broad is
Oh yeah,
when
you're
he
right.
killed those
It's
dudes.
yeah, that's it. That's why I
Yeah.
was like, I was literally so confused for like a solid. Well, ever since he was mentioned in the book, I'm like, wasn't he mentioned earlier? But
Mm.
yeah, I guess you guys were. He was talking about that guy, and that makes way more sense now.
There you go. Glad we can tie
I
that
get
up. for him.
confused like when books start. I kind of like I have to
Yeah.
like push through so that I can like actually understand what's going on later.
Like I even find myself reading the first couple pages twice, so I can kind of
Mhm.
get start to think the way the book needs me to think in order to understand the book. I do.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
I
do think
might
that.
like reread part 1 just
Yeah.
to like
It's not a bad habit. That way you can
no, yeah,
finally get like that foundation down of how this book is
right,
going.
Had to
exactly.
do it for the last one. All right, Raquel, go.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
um,
Brian, did you
have
do
to
your
do
best
your
worst?
negatives.
What?
Oh yeah, you didn't do your worst. You did your best. Was a circle.
Oh, my worst?
Yeah,
What
worst
did-
part of the book.
Uh,
Yeah.
worst.
Just to show how good the book is.
Just
I guess.
any part that you didn't exactly like.
You don't have to force it. If you don't got nothing, you got nothing. All right, Raquel, what do you got?
I'll tell you my worst first, and that is
That's a good point.
finding out that book 2 doesn't come out until September 15th.
Damn.
Well, he's written a lot. He has a lot of books that he wrote.
I know.
tell. He has some
we should just
experience.
read another one of his books.
Yeah.
But I'm so attached to these characters. Oh my god. But
will
his
give you that.
writing is so fluid and just
Yeah.
so like it's like the writing itself is erotic. Like I just like fucking fell in love with this writing style and like just oh my god. I'm like so I've
It's-
never
it's-
felt this way about a writer in a book before.
It's a
I'm-
very like simple writing style.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's still like
but it's
enough.
so very it's like simple but very concise and descriptive.
And so much
Yeah.
depth to it. Yeah.
And
And then
yeah,
it even
exactly.
has like a bunch. I felt I was learning like so much new vocabulary too. It was so good. Oh my god. So I don't know. I can't even think of like my favorite part of the book because I just like the whole book. I was just like, oh my god. I think I liked how he like would do like the sex scenes and stuff, but he wouldn't make it to the point where like you would get turned on while reading it, you know what I mean? Like where
Yeah,
it's
we're
like
not-
uncomfortable.
We're not reading mommy porn here. So
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like, because that's what happens sometimes, especially with how long the sex scenes were. He was like doing enough, like talking about enough surrounding the area that it was like the scene that you didn't feel like, okay, I need to put the book down.
yeah. on your shoulder to make sure nobody's watching you read it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't want to read in
Pour a little
public.
glass of water.
Just go lock your door.
But it was graphic at the same time. Like there's a scene. It's not even the sex scene. It's like the next morning with one of these like random women that Orso had, and like the guy comes in with the drinks or whatever, and he just like presses. He says he presses his cock into her back, and I just have that like image just like stained in my head. I'm like, oh my god. Like, how did was it sideways? Was it forwards? Was it? They said it was half
It-
chubbed. Like, was it squishing into
straight up.
her? Was it like, like? But I had this like full image of what was going on. Like, everything about it was so
My Tom
well
Orso has it going on, man.
described. I
Oh.
was like, this is great. Like the wording too, you could tell like the accents, you could tell like where these people were from, and then like you could tell like with the descriptions even that he uses, like he never says like penis or dick, he says cock every
Yeah.
time, so that's like a hard, harsh word, which is like perfect for this
Or
time,
or
like
prick.
style.
He uses prick a lot too.
Prick
Yeah,
too,
prick.
right? Which is exactly the same thing though.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
everything that he like even the way he describes everything is like the way that you should describe everything. It was just I was like so transformed in like everything about the book, like the way he wrote it, the way the characters talk, the way that everything like flooded like went from one scene to another. It was all so natural and cohesive. I'm yeah.
Damn,
I'm like
Raquel, I'm honored.
fangirling over here. I like want to
I
meet
know.
him and just be like,
Uh,
you're my favorite writer at this
I'm
moment.
honored that I was your gateway into this book. I also
I
have
know.
a signed copy of this book.
Oh
For a fair
shit.
price.
Yeah, I'm pretty
For a
salty.
price.
Pretty good.
It's only
What's
27
crazy
bucks.
though is
Just buy it anywhere. But yeah.
what's crazy though is I don't like this theme of books usually.
Same here.
Like,
This was a shot in
the
dark for me.
fact that I'm like dying over this book is like
Like
that's got to be something else, you know
like
what I mean?
I'm normally a sci-fi guy.
Yeah, me too.
I rarely pick fantasy.
I'm
So
like
this,
sci-fi mystery, and this one is like nothing like what I would like. Fantasy is just
Same
not
here.
really my
And
thing,
it's
and so
crazy that it has no magic or very little of it. And
yeah,
like this is a fantasy book, and there obviously is magic in this world. Like
Yeah,
one of the main
one I've
characters
seen,
has,
yeah.
she has the long eye, right?
That
right.
was a good scene with the arrow.
That was a beautiful scene. I wish she can fucking tap into it and like
I
do it more
know.
No,
often.
I like that when she tried to tap into it, she
Yeah.
fucked it up and she opened
Right.
it wide
Broke it,
open.
yes.
Exactly.
I was like, I was afraid that her long eye was gonna be used as like a big like
Get out. Jail
get out of jail free card,
Mhm.
and it didn't.
Yeah.
And then when she tried to make it like that, she paid for it, and I like that a
Yep.
lot.
I
Yeah.
love it. I
There's a
love
price
it.
to it. But in those moments where like everything works, right? Like especially with the arrow, the fact that she was able to see everything about that arrow, like where it was,
Yeah.
what it is, who
Where it was
made it,
Yeah, cut it down.
like, and what the second time she did that was with
The axe, wasn't it like an axe or something?
who's axe though?
I don't remember. She talks about it though.
Oh
It's
yeah.
two things.
It was during the circle. It was what was the wolf was using.
His sword. His sword. Where?
Oh,
Who
yes.
made his sword?
Yeah, that's what it
Oh
was, the sword.
yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Speaking of the circle, I found like I liked how like there was this whole setup around it. It's like picking the right weapon.
Yeah.
Like obviously they both bitched
Yeah.
out and grabbed swords. Like I kind of wanted to see more of a chess match going on.
It's like grab a whip for God's sakes.
Put
Like,
him there.
like they were hinting at that. It's like go grab a spear is like, yeah, you don't have to get so close, but if he does get close, you might be at a disadvantage. Like I would have liked to see more of that.
And it's like if you pick a weapon and your buddy and your dude you're fighting
you can
wins the
switch,
coin toss,
yeah.
he can take your weapon. Like that's
Yeah.
one of the rules.
Yeah.
So if you take
exactly.
a spear and he's like, guess what? I'm really good with spears. I'm gonna take that fucking spear from you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fucked.
It's like a
Which
chess
I like that
game.
too. I like that
Yeah.
too. Like that's so
You
cool.
think
But
about-
at the end, they all pick swords,
But it was
which
still
I guess is
epic.
probably 90% of the battles.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, most
Use a
people with
whip.
swords
Told him to get a whip.
I know.
That would have been hot though.
That would have been me.
Like
are, flails are just sitting there. Nobody's even touched them.
The fact that he like ends up with the two swords at the end gave me like a little bit of like my Sword Art Online like obsession come out
Right.
too. I was
It's
like,
all-
yes.
Like, good job, Lion. I mean, Kirito. I mean, Lion.
So you guys want to talk Magi for a little bit?
No, I didn't do my
No?
thing yet.
So
I didn't do
what
my
part-
thing
what
yet.
part of that was
Yeah,
your
it's
favorite?
his turn.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, by the way, what was your favorite part during that? Just the book itself, it sounds like.
The book itself. No, I talked about like
All of it.
I can't
Everywhere.
I can't even just think of a single thing that like just doesn't get me, you know? So
Yeah.
not everything.
Oh.
I want to talk about the entire I just want to like I want to like reread the book to you guys. That's
Oh,
that's just
God.
like out loud to you.
Are
Just
we strapped to a chair or not?
Hey.
I've I've been like thinking like God, I just want to like I want to be the person to like
You wish this
direct
was like a
this
show we could
film
watch together.
so badly. But I want to
Yeah.
like direct every single sentence of this book. I don't want to miss a single thing. I want the only time that the actors talk is during
Mhm.
their like inner monologue and their outer monologue. I want like the scenes to be read. I want everything to be exactly how the book is, but you can see the visuals. So that's how I feel about it.
Well, enough of crazy. Sorry, what you were saying?
And now, Jesus Christ.
Beat that, Jose.
Favorite part of the book, huh?
Mhm.
I think it's the few times when there's a lot of like build up and something finally happens. Like not like nothing happens throughout the book, but like with Broad when he's just like chilling and you hear him like feel him tensing up and getting angry,
Mhm.
and like when he's in the riots and he's on top of that
Mountain of
barrier that he
chairs
has,
and-
Yeah.
the mountain of chairs, and he beats the shit out of that one guy, but like doesn't
Oh.
kill him.
Yeah.
He starts like
So I was
stomping on
"Please,
his neck.
brother." He's like, for you, since it's your birthday. I guess.
I don't know, but the burners were out of hand, so. you know,
Yeah, no,
fuck
I agree. I like that whole aspect of just how everything tied together. There's not one part of the book where I'm like, why did he do that? Why did he include that? That doesn't make any sense. That was like wasted potential. Or
Why did he try to do 2 books at the same time?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Which,
even
to be fair, he does 10
fighters
books at the
and-
same time, and he
Well,
does
yeah.
a hell of a good
but,
job
like,
at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, even parts where he's like in the riots when he's like introducing that guy he's like, I'm the king of the square. This is my square. And Sparks, I think that guy's name's Sparks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I got a giant hat. I'm king now.
Oh yeah.
I was like, at one point, I was like, man, you're really gonna introduce this guy, but then it makes sense of why he did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, like I'm so sorry, like Joe, I'm sorry to have doubted you.
The great
Yeah.
Abercrombie.
You're weaving your story together, and here I am, like, oh, don't put that there. Like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, oh, okay, that's why.
He just comes over like, shh, shh, shh,
And,
shh.
like,
Sit down. Let me finish.
Speaking of like weaving the threads, like no matter, it doesn't matter if he's jumping from character to character and they're in different parts of this country, right? They're in cities apart. The story always moves forward.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
feel the
exactly.
progression of time and the progression of
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
struggle. Because
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you guys, who do you think the main character is? But to me, the main character is the
So many.
conflict, the suffering.
Like I think it's like the state, like the city that they're in, or the
Sure.
country.
The country,
more-
sure.
Is more likely the main character. Yeah.
Yeah, like to me, the struggle of this whole conflict, or like the common theme is suffering, right? Like it, and you see suffering from every level. Like
I don't know if it's necessarily suffering. I think it's more so balance, that you
Sure.
can't just take something without there being repercussions for it, and you can't
Exactly.
just
Yeah,
do
definitely.
something without nothing's given for free. And like they tell you that a lot. I think they've mentioned that a couple times in the book. Like, there's a
Yeah.
cost to everything, especially
Right.
when like when Savine's talking about like getting gifts from her friends or getting something from Savine.
Yeah.
There's always a cost like
Mhm.
attached to it. Nothing's
And,
ever free.
And what I was trying to say is like you get to see it from all perspectives.
Yeah.
You get to see it from the perspective of the soldier. You get to see it from the powerful and rich. You get to see it from the poor. you get to see this whole conflict from every walks of life.
Anyone
Whether-
else think that this book was like oddly topical for it having taken place in
A little bit.
Middle Ages?
Mm-hmm. A little
Yeah,
bit.
You know what I mean?
It's
I-
very
I-
2020.
like
It is very 2020, but I
Yeah.
like that he doesn't place anybody into the right. Like
No.
nobody's
Right.
right in the
Yeah.
book. Everybody's like, even the people who think they're right, they do wrong. They're not perfect people.
yeah.
No.
And I think that's what I like the most about this book is that he takes a very human, like a human approach to like class warfare or class like inequalities,
Mm-hmm.
where
Yeah, I
it's
feel like it's like they're ahead of time in that sense, but they're still like in the right time
Yeah,
period
like
for
even the way they went about
representation.
getting it is they were just killing people indiscriminately, and they talk about they were hanging people that weren't rich, that were poor people that they were hanging, and like my God, this book has so many good quotes in it. It's unreal.
Especially
There's so
when
many.
Orso and Young Lion were talking, and they were talking about the makeup of the city and
Yeah.
and how the author handled that situation without like demonizing any one of them
No.
and just showing you the different perspectives and like
Yeah.
I thought that was nice. He handles that very like he gives you enough to think and then lets you figure out the rest
Definitely.
and
I li-
see where you
uh,
stand.
The Eminence Archgloctor was dropping some like spicy tidbits. I really liked. He's like the law without enforcement is just breath. I thought that was like I was like
Yeah.
that's good. That's a good one. That's a really
True.
good one.
And that's woo! That's really hitting home right now.
I know. Or the other one where he's like, fear of being a grown up is a poor reason to stay a child.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, that was good.
damn.
Definitely.
Speaking of him,
Smacking on it. Hold on. Let me do.
you got more. You got more.
Part.
We get some
Well, worst
banging
part.
fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Oh right, your worst part.
Worst part I think of this book is, and it's not really the fault of the writer.
It insists itself.
The characters make, and it's not even that. It's not even that. Like it's not even a knock against it. It's just that human approach he took to everybody. The characters make bad decisions, right? And you're like, why? Don't do that. That's so
Yeah.
stupid. You're making a dumb decision, but it's not a bad decision based on writing or like bad like plot. Like he has to move the plot forward, so the character has to be stupid for 20 minutes to get it to go, to get the story going. He does it because like Savine sleeping with the young lion. She does it because she's hurting, so she needs to do something to hurt herself even more. Like I think she even says that to herself. And then same thing with Orso. He does the same thing with Ricker.
Right.
And it's like, man, guys, don't do that. But it's like they're doing stupid things, and you're mad at the character, but it makes sense of why they're doing it.
Yeah, because they're trying to fill a hole.
They're trying to fill a hole, and it's such it's nice to be like, man, I'm being mad at a character for making a dumb decision, that is totally based on something the character would do in real life because like they're a person, and not because the writer is making them do stupid things.
Yeah.
Like, well, I didn't see that part anyways being so much as stupid, but
no, that's
not when
like Rick is like really upset with him for not killing.
No,
yes.
like when she
that
walks
was
into
like,
the factory.
oh, okay, come on, like get over it. But then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I understand. Like if I
understand why you're mad
or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and then they go to Leo, and he's like pissed off too, and the same thing. Like, I'm not gonna apologize. She's got to apologize first.
Yeah.
And then Ricker's like the absolute opposite of that. Or like, yeah, I'm not gonna apologize. He's got to apologize. And it's so good, and it's so like, God, you two are
So
stupid,
real.
but you guys are stupid because it's real and not because you're
Exactly.
written badly. It's not bad writing, great writing.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. I did kind of roll my eyes when like I could see that like okay, I get it. They're gonna sleep with each other's exes now. It's like, all right.
Yeah, it's almost like too perfect, right? That
But
couple,
then it was
that couple,
like-
and like boom.
Then it was like, young lion is getting fucking drugged and practically raped by her. Like
he's
she
like-
Oh, yeah, she's, like,
sticks the
shoving
drugs up his nose
The
and
pearl
like
dust.
undoes his pet. Yeah. undoes his pants for him. He doesn't even notice that they're done. He's like, well, this is happening.
Yeah,
Like
he's like,
he
oh,
didn't
my
even
pants are
really
gone.
want it, and then she's just like
And
kind of
then
forced on
just a
him.
little poof
that's
what-
about it.
And
I
then
think that's you imprinting, wanting him to like bat for the other team,
about
because I think he did want it.
He was like, he's like,
about
I was a
it.
little afraid, but I
He
was
was
into it.
scared.
Yeah,
You know,
as soon as
yeah,
we got that
definitely. He was
dust,
into
though,
it, but he was like also like, I don't know, she kind of is old like my mom.
was
This is
having
kind of
doubts.
weird. Like, am I really into this? And then he's like, this is a really weird setting. I don't know. Maybe this isn't the right time.
I get
And
it.
then
If he wa-
I think that's
if he
she's
you
was
like
a
imprinting.
woman,
overthinking, then she just stuffs the drugs in his nose. It's like,
Yeah.
here, have some cocaine.
if it was a woman, he'd be in jail. Or if it was the other way around,
Oh yeah,
I
exactly. That's what I'm
I
saying.
think that also that's like plays back to like him entering the circle too. He thought he was big shit until he was
Right.
in the circle and he was shitting his pants. And
Exactly.
I think that's the same thing. Like he's like, oh, I'm
That
gonna go fuck this, older lady. This is gonna be
yeah.
tight. And he gets there and he's like, oh my god, I'm really afraid actually. Scared.
Yeah, exactly.
it's
I
like,
think that's
holy
like, but it
crap.
also is like his charm at the same time because
It's
it's
like,
his
holy shit,
innocence like
I'm
poking
actually
through.
16.
She knows
Yeah,
big man.
How
God.
old
What's
is
happening?
he? Do they say
I
how
gotta
old he
say
is?
He's like early
Because
20s, I
he's
imagine.
like the
Yeah.
same age as Ricker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ricker
I
and
thought.
him
Well, I
are
thought Ricker was pretty young actually.
Ricker's a little older than him.
Well, they
They're
said they
both
grew
like
up together.
college people,
Yeah.
college kids.
Yeah. Is she
So
Oh,
he's
like?
like
well,
18,
I
probably
was thinking
18.
like 19 or something. Yeah.
definitely a
Do you think
man,
he's
because
real king now?
well, like
I'm a man.
he has to be of age, right? Like then,
Yeah.
because that's why his mother was running shit for a while, and I know they were waiting for
Yeah.
him to be approved after his dad died. But
Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
probably 18, right?
oh well,
No, I
he
mean,
was
well,
waiting for years, so he
right,
could
right,
be
right.
21.
I think they were saying that I think they say the only reason why he was made Lord Governor is because he was going to get into the fight. And I don't think if he was
Oh,
I don't think if he wasn't entering the circle, I don't think the king would have made him Lord Governor yet. I think that
yeah.
he would have waited.
Yeah, because his mom was taking good care of shit.
Yeah, and apparently she's a badass. She's a badass general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
She
that's
can-
that.
There was another thing we were
She
talking
could
about.
get it. What?
We were talking about like the whole like Brian Brent mentioned like and then they're having sex with their exes. So I was saying
Yeah.
like like it was cool to see how like one scene was like so crazy with like the line with Leo and Savine, and then the other one was like, wow, this actually is a pretty interesting like combination of people, and it like seems like it kind of works at the same time. Like
Yeah,
Or
it
you talking
worked
about
out.
their
Orso
personalities
and
kind of work
Ricker, or
together. Yeah,
Savine and
Orso and Rick.
I think Orso and Savine fit better together than
Well,
or
definitely.
sorry.
Well, of course it do.
No,
They're
sorry.
they're siblings.
Orso and Ricker fit
Fit
together
better.
better than Savine
Yes.
and Leo do.
That's what I was saying.
At
I
least
felt
off the
like it
first
like
night.
showed the chemistry between them and how they like can joke around with each other, and they have this like kind of like lighthearted but could be something more
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I like who he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take you home and bang you, and he looks over his shoulder and Cole is just shivers, is just staring at him. He's like, oh, never mind.
Got shivered.
Oof.
Ooh, is that your bodyguard? It's like, it's kind of a friend.
He's like kind of a friend, but he
But
fills
you-
that role sometimes.
He's like, what about the other one? It's like, yeah, kind of same thing.
I tutor, but she's a friend. She fills that role sometimes. Oof.
Trying to make me, harden my heart.
It was so
Uh,
good though. I loved it.
Oh, dude.
I want them to be together.
Speaking of
Even the mom was about it. I loved it.
Speaking of the hardening your heart, that whole like monologue that he was going on about like what he was gonna do to Ricker, and then I'll tie her up to a tree, slit her back. But
Oh
like,
my god.
you ever see Robot Chicken where Lord Vader keeps going up and down the elevator just because he kept opening his mouth, and then like I
we
just
keep
felt
coming
like,
back.
yeah, I just
felt
felt like
it
he just kept adding shit, just everything that came
Yeah.
into his mind. He's like, yeah.
It's
I
like
honestly
it's
think
like an immature guy that's like super
yeah.
into himself. That's what I
He's-
felt like it was.
Well, he's only a little
like he's
older than
saying what he
Leo.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
but
about
he's
the same
still
age as Leo.
immature. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
yeah, he's like the direct counterpart to Leo.
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
one's good and one's bad, like essentially. But they're basically
Exactly.
like this, almost the same character.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is like. So
Also,
it makes sense.
I didn't get why Ricker was so mad. Like she was like,
no,
you gotta
but-
kill
yeah.
him. You gotta
Yeah.
kill
He's
him. He's like, well,
literally pissing right at your face practically, and then talking about what he's gonna do to your body, and
They
like,
have a pig fuck
and
you.
I mean, I
and-
get that scarring,
Like,
but
it's
like,
just-
yeah, exactly. But like he has to think about the
and
realm
they
versus
are
just her
hunting
once.
her at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
But
wasn't it for like months though? It wasn't like one
no,
night.
it was for a while.
it was for a while. I mean, okay, so
She
okay,
probably
okay.
would've
My
got
one,
over it
my
eventually.
one real complaint with this book is that there's times where they jump ahead big sections of time and they don't really say how long
Yeah.
it was. Like the riots, they don't say, or how the siege of Valbeck. They don't really say how long they're there. They tell you it's like a couple months, but they don't really give you a
Bring it back.
concrete amount of time. Same thing with Ricker in the forest, because they tell you she was running around for like weeks,
Yeah.
but they don't tell you how long she was out there.
No, there's no specific
kind of-
time, but you just
I
know
was-
it's moving forward.
I was like for a second like, shit, did I get the wrong book? Because I felt like you just like jump into it. I was like, is this the second book?
This
Am
is
I
the
missing
fourth book of the series.
information? So like that was like I felt a little confused about that, but I don't know.
If I'm not mistaken, I think this is
The fourth.
a series. This is a series. This is the first book of
In
this
this series.
series,
Of a
Of this-
trilogy.
but this is the
He's-
fourth book in this world.
In this world, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a sequel to the.
Oh, okay, but these
first
are like new
trilogy.
characters.
yeah. Like you don't have to read the first trilogy to understand this trilogy. They have very
Maybe
little to
some
do
le-
with each other, but like there is some
Kind
bleed
of the
over,
same.
sure. I'm sure he's gonna reference some stuff that happens in the first book.
Right, true.
But it's not something that you definitely need to read this book. You can jump right into it like we did.
All right, you want to do weight ratings? You want to rate this thing?
Well, I did want to talk about
Oh,
one
my bad.
last thing. No, that's fine. So
20
the
seconds, go.
prediction:
Mhm.
who the fuck's the owl?
I was
Because
Yeah.
thinking
they
that
revealed,
too. I'm like,
they
who
revealed
is
who
the
the lamb is,
owl?
They reveal who the lamb is.
and
who's
Yeah,
the
we know
owl?
who the
is,
lamb is. Yeah,
He's our boy.
or so.
Our boy Leo's gonna get outmatched at some point.
It was
But
Orso
a
is
lion.
the
A lion eats a
young
wolf.
lamb.
A lion,
A lion
yeah.
eats a wolf. An
And the-
owl eats the lion, and the lamb eats
No.
the owl.
No, it
The other-
starts
the other way around.
out.
Oh, other way around.
Wolf,
Yeah, yeah.
lion,
But
lamb, and owl.
No,
The
No.
wolf beats something,
The wolf
right?
eats the
And
sun.
The
then
wolf eats the sun.
then yes,
The lion eats
The
the
lion,
wolf.
the
and then the
lion
lamb
eats
eats the
the-
lion.
lamb eats the
Yeah.
lion, then the owl eats the lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So who
looking
the
at it right
fuck
Yeah.
is the owl? Like, obviously
I
we
think
can't
they're
see the
gonna- we're
Magi.
gonna
We don't
find
know if
out
he has a
soon.
giant owl emblem just hanging off his chain.
I
It
was
sucked, dude.
wondering if the magi were the owl.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can't see the Magi. We can only see what the author describes to us. So we don't know if he's like wearing a giant emblem on his chain. But I don't remember ever seeing a reference. Like, I was
I
thinking
think
about
he does
looking
it on
up
purpose
what.
because he doesn't even. We don't find out who the lamb is until literally the end of the book.
Yeah,
The
the
book,
young lamb.
the young
Because
lamb.
Yeah,
he's so meek.
and then you're like,
Yeah, like when it's
what's
like,
gonna happen?
I know who the owl is though.
who?
You
Who
do?
you think is the owl?
Well, it's definitely gonna be the Weaver.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like,
I forgot about the Weaver. I forgot about who.
Oh,
Whoever the
Like-
fuck that is
who do
definitely
you think is the
gonna go hoot
Weaver?
and just show up.
I thought it was gonna be like Pike
Readings
or
a
someone like
hoot.
that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of loose ends, that's the
Ooh.
only thing they didn't tie up.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to the Weaver and
Fake
the
Weaver.
crazy
I
bitch?
know they talk about it,
And
and,
the
then Pike
burners.
walks into the room and he's like, "And you're dead."
No, like the burners. They're still out there.
Yeah, Judge
No, I
Judge
was
is
talking about the
missing.
Weaver. But yeah,
Judge, that's what it is.
yeah.
The real
The
Weaver's
Weaver.
missing, and
Yep.
fake Weaver. The fake Weavers.
I think Pike's the Weaver.
So,
They did reference that it was the.
Or he's
the
either the
rich-
Weaver or he works directly for the Weaver.
You think Pike's the Weaver?
The Weaver.
I
That's what I'm
thought
saying. You
he
think
was,
Pike, Supreme Pike?
but
Or either that or he's like the #1 hand for the Weaver.
Mm.
Like
Cat
during
was
the
like that.
interrogation, she's gonna figure it out, and he's like, "I got this. Take a break."
Well, yeah, that's his job. Like, if
I
anything,
know, but like it was very convenient that he's like, "Oh, it's the Weavers." It's like, and you're
no, well, like, well, fair, but the reason he did that is because
Uh-huh.
you know, he was sending him on a
because he was gonna
fast
be
train
like,
to Hangville.
yeah, and he's gonna be like, the Weaver's that guy right fucking there, or
yeah,
Well, like, to be fair, that was a direct order from higher ups. Sure,
Yeah.
he could have made it up. You're right.
It was just very.
I'm not saying it's not
compelling.
not outside the realm of possibility, but
Mhm.
I'm
because
so curious what it is though.
fuck,
What if it's
Savine's
bad?
dad was like he was onto something.
Yeah.
He had a list of names of people who have grievances, and he was like, it's quite curious. Not the names that are
These,
on them, the
yeah,
lack of
these,
or the
yeah,
missing
yeah, yeah.
names, the people that have the biggest grievances, and
I think the Weaver is the guy that forced Broad off his land. I think that's who the Weaver is going to end up being, because he's the one that Glockner also mentions is on the list of people who
Oh,
didn't sign
interesting.
grievances.
which like, again, which would make sense because like the higher or the rich were consolidating their land and like kicking everybody off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like they have the
On land,
they're
yeah.
the ones that are losing the most, right? Like well, not the most, but the higher taxes they're being charged to fund all these wars with
Yeah.
Stadia and
Syria.
Syria and yeah. So who the
Yeah.
fuck's the
I
owl?
Pike definitely worked for
no,
the Weaver.
I think the owl is going to be something
We don't know yet. You don't think
that
it's existing?
not
Oh,
that it
it's
doesn't
Ricker.
exist.
Holy shit!
don't- I
Oh,
don't
wait, yeah.
think I don't think
I mean,
I don't
now
think
that
it's I don't think
that's-
it is what you think it means. You know, I think it's one
Yeah,
of
and
those
that's
things.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is like part of me
Or
doesn't want to do it, but like I was because I don't want to bring outside information into this book. Like I want to just go off of what the author gives me. But I wanted to like look into like what an owl represents and
Oh
like
yeah, to see if
like
it's like
oh you have
magic or
yeah.
yeah
Well, so I think
I mean,
a
owls have to be
owl
visual.
eating an owl eating the lamb. I don't necessarily think that means like killing him. I think that means like
Overpowering
take
or
or
dethroning.
defeating
not
or
overpowering.
Yeah,
You could
no,
say
but like,
defeating, but at this point, like I think it's someone. I think it's Savine. I think Savine's the owl.
You think Sabine's the owl?
I think
I was
Sabine's the
thinking
owl.
that.
that can make sense.
So like
like-
Sabine eating the lamb could mean like conquering him, could mean marrying. You know what I mean? As opposed to
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Because the dad is dead
To be
now.
fair.
Dad's
so
dead. Yeah.
that's true.
I just see it being Savine. I don't know.
It's
I don't know
possible
why.
because like technically the wolf kind of joins the sun being that city, right? Or that country,
I
right?
don't
The
know.
protectorate, I think is what the sun is because he threatened the protectorate.
No, I think the sun is uh the kingship or the lordhood that he took. I think that's the sun.
Oh,
Well, he
He-
took that province, right? And he burned it, right?
Well, no, I'm talking about the end when he kills
his uncle.
his
Well,
uncle.
like
I think that's
then,
him eating the sun.
so you don't think it's necessarily in order? It
No,
might not be.
I don't think it's necessarily over yet.
No, he's saying in order because
In order.
because the lamb defeats the
No,
wolf.
no,
Well,
I think by defeating, I mean, you could see it as that, but he didn't like the sun seems like something he would want. He would eat the sun by taking like he wants to take the sun. Not necessarily like he's setting fire to the sun, if that makes any sense, like for the city.
right.
I think him killing the king is him eating the sun, and eventually Leo and the wolf are gonna have to fight again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Orso's gonna do something to look better than Leo, and then he's gonna get eaten by Servine. I don't know. I don't know what the
Because
fuck's gonna go on.
technically they're at peace with each other, so it doesn't
Right.
mean that like he ate the wolf. It means that he's
Right, because he's still making big moves.
So you're
Yeah.
thinking that the
second
the
book. he's
prediction the prediction just got started.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
That
Because
makes
like
sense.
because then it doesn't make sense that like I don't know that
I
the
kept
lambs
wondering,
eat
I'm
the
like,
wolf,
why
but
would
then the
they
wolf
like
is still
mention
doing
the
things.
sun but not like actually show that part of it?
Well,
So
because
that
like the
makes
sun, right?
sense.
So here's the thing. So when he kills his uncle, he takes that medallion from him, and he says it's a big fucking disc, big like golden disc.
Oh
So
yeah.
if that's supposed to be the
That
sun,
was like
if
a
that
main
is
part of it too.
yeah,
Yeah.
the chain, like the chain he
Focus.
wore,
Yeah.
the king's chain. So if if that's the son and he's eating it by getting it, you know what I mean? Like that's what I think anyway.
Because there's no doubt in my mind that Savine she's gonna rise to power somehow.
Yeah.
Like legitimate power.
Just suck it up and marry her brother, and she would have it already.
She already
Oh,
did.
dude.
Um,
Do you think they're gonna do some type of like Game of Thrones type of thing? Oof.
Well, I don't understand why her mom was so mad about it. Like that's what the royals do all the time. What is she
I was
so
gonna say,
upset about?
Not
how?
brother and sister usually. It's usually
Well, half.
cousins.
You know,
But she did
say to
having a good
protect her.
time.
Yeah, I
That
guess that's
they
true,
hit her
but still.
for her protection.
Here's what's
And-
gonna happen. Here's what's gonna happen. Orso's mom gonna be like, "Yo, that king dude, yo, that dude is sterile, bro. Ain't nobody getting sired from him." You know what I mean? And that's how they're gonna be like, "Oh no, like you're not actually related. You can get married now."
well, I don't think so because he's
think
not sterile.
his mom doesn't want him to marry her.
Well,
She was, like,
because
super
she's a
against
commoner, right? She's a commoner. I don't think she knows.
She only wants like she would be okay with Rick because she is the daughter of like that would be like
she wouldn't. There's no way she
Yes,
would be.
she would.
If she didn't want Savine, why the hell would she want Ricker? Ricker is
Because-
10 times lower on the social scale than Savine
because at
ever
least
is.
she's like in one of the families that are like
but she's
but
like
she's not-
socially, like she's rich and powerful, sure, but she's still of common blood. Where if Ricker,
exactly.
she is
Ricker
the
is his-
daughter.
Yes.
She's the daughter of the Lord, the Dogman.
Yeah.
He ran that township.
But he's still just considered a tribe leader. He's not anything important. Nobody cares who
That's
he
fair.
actually is.
Just the name.
It's just a name, yeah. He's just like the mayor of a small little shit town.
Well, yeah.
No one
like
actually.
she,
No,
like,
he doesn't have any real importance, and he doesn't have really any real importance in the city.
Well, yeah, he was fighting for 6 chairs, yeah, but like, but basically, Ricker, sure, say what you will, like she was on the same stance as Leo, but obviously where Leo comes from, he has much more importance. His township is more important to the kingdom than his, but they're still all part of the protectorate.
Yeah, I know, but the
So she is
reason
not
the reason
nobody.
but she basically is. She's still
Sure.
of common blood. She's not anybody special. Just because she has the long eye doesn't, and she's the daughter of some chief. She's not anything crazy.
That's fair, but
You know what I mean? Like when they
uh,
talk about her, they're like, she's the witch. She's known as the witch. That's it. She's not known as like the chief's daughter or whatever. That's not what they say she is when they talk about her.
yeah, that's true. I don't know, but she liked it at the end. It's like, oh gosh, like I was always half willing to do it. Like she never said that about Savine.
But she does have like that privileged heir to her though. You know, like
Who,
that's why
Wicker or
Rick, yeah.
yeah. Well, like she's kind of like, I don't know. In my opinion, yeah, she's not royalty, sure, but like
She's not royalty, bro.
An
Come on.
important person.
but
She's
she's
barely.
up there.
If she didn't have the long eye, no one would give two shits about her.
Yeah, but like that's like she's
That's
like
her
the
whole
daughter
thing.
of one of the governors.
But no, she's the daughter of
has
a
to-
mayor. She's like not
Okay.
even. Who cares? I'm telling you, like compared to the king and queen, no, not even close.
Well, yeah, no, compared to King and Queen, but
But
compared
compared
to
to a
Savine,
commoner,
yeah,
but she
my
is
point.
a commoner. That's what I keep telling you.
but she's
Savine,
not.
socially, Savine is a higher ranking than fucking
but
Ricker.
she could lose it all.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
she's
Savine's
Ricker is the daughter of the person who's actually running the country.
well, like, but
Ricker?
No, sorry,
Savine.
Savine.
Yeah,
Savine
yeah,
is
but
Well,
like
Savine is the
mom
daughter
didn't
of the
know
most
that.
Like,
feared man,
she's not
of the most
supposed to
feared
know
man
that.
in the.
Technically, she doesn't know that. So
Yeah, like,
technically, and like
Who doesn't know
nobody knows that.
that
technically, no one
Savine
knows.
is the daughter of
Yeah.
old Sticks? Everybody.
Oh, Sticks,
No.
sure, yeah, Sticks.
Oh, you're talking about
That's
Yeah.
But I think he's not
He ha-
considered because he's not considered royal blood. She's considered just like a regular.
yeah. I don't think Sticks.
I mean,
is
yeah,
royal,
but
though.
he's also, but he's not.
He's
He's
the man
not.
in
But he's
charge,
also
though.
the most powerful man in the country. He's
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah, but if he loses his job, it's not like she gets it. You know
What?
what I
Yeah,
mean?
But he's
fair
not going
Like
to
if
lose
he
his
dies,
job.
it
He's
doesn't
not going.
pass on.
But he's not going to get. He's not going to lose his job.
Well, no,
No,
I know,
if he dies, it doesn't pass on to her
yeah,
because it's not
Yeah.
royalty in any way.
But neither is Ricker. That's why I keep. There's no
I
way.
thought
She's
it
not royal.
does. I
She's
thought
not.
for her it
No.
does pass on.
well, yeah,
What
with the king
the-
approval, yeah.
the
Like, just like
lordship is
Leo.
just gonna give it to Ricker? No way. They're not just if her
Yeah,
dad
yeah,
dies,
that's what
she's
they
why
did
would they give
for-
it to her?
That's because
If
that's
she
how
doesn't have
like
any
the
brothers, that's what
monarchy
they
works.
did that
Like,
for Leah.
yeah, like it passes
Ricker
down through your bloodline.
Ricker's so
So she
you
would
so
be in charge of what the dog man controlled.
but like but why? But why would they give it to Ricker?
Like, just why would they give it to Orso, early Orso, like the drunk? Like, he was always gonna be the prince to be.
Because that's the thing. One time, okay, go back to the book
Mhm.
and read one time where Ricker's dad says, "When I die, this is all going to be yours." He never says
Fair,
that
but
once
that's
in the book.
But that's
Never once in the
assumed,
book.
right? Just like how
No, it's
like,
not assumed. Even Ricker herself never says, "Oh man, I'm gonna have to go back and take care of all this." She never says that. That never comes up once.
That's
This is
true.
that's never
I
a
gotta-
concern in her
like,
mind.
I don't know how. But typically, of my understanding of this time period that this book is representing, like,
He's just like a chairhead, sure, but they're more likely to give it to someone else than Ricker. I don't know why they would give it to.
I don't like I think I don't feel like there was that much of a democracy in that little town. of
No,
his.
because like I think it's more so that he was like a general and all of his like followers fight with him, but at no point do they actually like say that if he dies, then Ricker gets everything. You're right, it could happen, but they don't actually
Like,
say anything.
I don't
ever.
know. I took it as the same arrangement because like he does have a seat on the council. Like, he does have representatives there.
Well,
And
that's the
he's
thing.
fighting
So
for more.
yeah, but that's the thing
Um,
at the end when Ricker has um that last vision and she thinks it's her dad dying. That's why she rushes home because everyone's is trying to take a piece of the pie when he dies, and that's what she thinks,
Yeah.
not knowing that the chieftain that was dying was the king, the Northern King.
Yeah.
mm.
You know
But
what I
then,
mean?
don't
It's not
you
like she's
think?
like, oh my god, my dad's dying. I gotta go home and protect my shit. It's like, oh my god, my dad's gonna die. They're gonna fight over everybody's gonna fight over the land. I have to go and like help.
Yeah.
Giving
Oh
up.
well, yeah. So her vision was of
Of the king dying, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I mean,
Because the guy even or his dad even says the other our allies will not be happy about this. He's like,
yeah,
don't worry,
Okay,
I have
well,
a new
so
ally.
wait,
yeah.
so
The union's the best ally you
isn't
says.
Stour Nightfall's dad?
Uncle.
He's uncle, sorry. Isn't he like the king of the north or something like that?
Yeah, his uncle is.
Yeah, his uncle
So,
was.
His
and
He
Iron
didn't have
what
Fist.
a he
was
didn't have a
Iron
son.
scale Iron
I
Hand.
thought that Dogman and his uncle were similar in like their
No,
stances.
No.
no, they don't really say. They don't really claim. Maybe in his other books he does, like how the North versus like Ufrith works. Because I assume they're just on the border and they're always just fighting each other.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like maybe like Ireland and like the English. You know what I mean? Like one is technically like overrules the other one, but they're still kind of like by themselves.
That was
Yeah.
Pablo.
So that's kind of how I saw it, as like them coming over to fight because hey, this used to be our land, coming to get it back, but they're like,
Yeah.
yo, this is our land, you can't have it.
Yeah, it's been ours
Okay.
for a while. Back up.
Yeah, so that's how I assumed that's how all that went.
Okay.
So who are they trying to take? I don't remember who they're trying to get. Stadia, not Stadia.
Syria
Syria from.
from the Syrians.
Yeah.
Oh, so they fought for their independence and won it, and then they're trying to
Well,
fight it back ever since.
They don't really say what they fought for. They just said there was a big. It was kind of like everybody in the country knew what the fighting was for, so they didn't need to explain why they were fighting.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
one of those things.
because
It's like World War One. Like we wouldn't really talk about.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
The
If
only
someone
one
was
that talks
talking
about it is the mom. She was like, they're over there trying to, win back your birthright because he's half.
yeah, he's Syrian.
Which, like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was I don't think they would want to leave if the future king was going to be half.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Syrian.
maybe they're fighting in for independence, and that's why.
Mm.
Let's put a pin in this thing.
Alright. Alright,
Yep.
before we hit 2 hours.
Yeah,
What?
we've been talking for a long time. We've been talking for a long time.
Just like this book. This is a long book. 400 and like the physical book was 460 pages somewhat. It was a fast read. It was a fast
Alright.
read.
All right, so let's do this quick. Let's get those numbers out and bang, bang, boom. Call it.
All right. Well, I'll start it. Actually, no, I'll be last. How should I start it off?
Out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
Um,
Wait, didn't we have
think-
a system? Fuck it.
no. Cares.
The other system
Oh,
not
it was like
right.
it was like a
Anyways.
-3
yeah,
to like
-3.
positive
Hey.
3.
There
So
you go.
confusing. Okay,
I
cares.
hate-
Cares.
That's dumb, anyways.
Out of 10,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
9.5.
9.5. All right.
I knew
Yeah,
you
it's
were
up
gonna
there.
say that.
It's up there. It's not better. I don't think it's better than A Brave New World, but it's fucking close. Like they're kissing each other.
Mm.
Close they are.
A high five
All
at the top.
right.
like,
We can just skip Raquel because we all know her answer. Brian?
Thank you,
Raquel.
Smith.
That is
Finally,
not
Where is
lady.
he at? Let me just.
finally get. All right. So,
Wow.
how many Raquels out of 10 would you say?
Me, how many Raquels out of 10?
I'm gonna give it a 4.7 out of 5.
Oh, okay, that was not out of 10.
That's pretty good.
4.75.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
All right.
Realizing that any book out of whatever, even if it's a 5 out of 5, doesn't mean it's a perfect book. It just
Yeah.
means
Pretty damn good.
it means like what you would compare other books to for that genre. Of what
I
it's
think it would
trying
be
to do.
I just saw it seen as my enjoyment out of it, how much I enjoyed the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the
not-
10 out of
not
10
the
doesn't
thing.
mean it's perfect. It means I just enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend.
Yeah, I'd get it pregnant.
All
Let's
right,
go.
Raquel, throw it in there. Come on. I know it's coming. Just go ahead and say it. Like in what out of what?
It gets. It gets a 10 out of 10. There you go.
Yeah.
And I already did recommend it to like 2 other people, to my parents and my friends.
Like I feel like you're getting the enjoyment out of this book as I got Old Man's War,
Yeah,
which is
that
a
was
really
good.
good sci-fi book. I do
Wait,
recommend that.
Wow, don't talk about other books in this book. Jesus.
I've already mentioned like 3 books in this
Yeah,
entire
we've already
fucking
talked about a
conversation.
Shut up.
Good counterpoint.
Like I said, for me, the conclusion of this book took a little too long. I feel like
Stop stalling.
I'm not stalling. Dedicating
Stalling.
fucking 4
You
chapters. to ending
punctuated
the
it 3
book
times. Stop stalling.
was too long, so I think I have to give it like a 9 out of 10, which is still good.
Oh. Oh yeah, no, that's okay. I was expecting like a 7. Yeah.
Oh wow, no, this is a good read. That's
Because
good.
you wanted to end
Um,
earlier because it was so good.
pretty good-
but it kept
Pretty
being
good book. The ending was too long. 2 out of 10.
There was a lot of water.
Is
in
that
it.
what
Never
you're-
again.
Otherwise a pretty good book. A little long. I wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend it. Just pass on this.
That ending, I just couldn't get over. It's like, how long is this cliff? When am I gonna hit the bottom? Is
It
what I was
was
thinking. The whole time
good.
I was thinking.
It was
it was
delicious.
good.
I wanted to savor every word of it. All right.
Okay, wrap it up. Wrap it up, baby.
And Josue, what's gonna be our next book?
In the House in the Dark of the Woods, I believe is the name of the book.
Sounds like garbage. All right, peace out, everybody. Till next time.
Whoa, yeah, damn.
Remember, don't bang your sister. All right, come on.
Night.